Major themes in the Second Epistle to the Thessalonians. The Second Epistle to the Thessalonians, attributed to Paul the Apostle, addresses a community facing trials and misunderstandings regarding the return of Christ. One of the major themes of the letter is perseverance in the face of suffering. Paul encourages the believers to remain steadfast and faithful, noting that their endurance under persecution is evidence of God's righteous judgment and that their present hardships will ultimately give way to divine justice. Their suffering, therefore, is not meaningless but part of a larger divine purpose that will culminate when the Lord Jesus is revealed in glory. This theme of endurance is closely tied to the affirmation of divine sovereignty and the assurance that God remains in control even when circumstances appear chaotic or unjust. Another prominent theme is the clarification of eschatological expectations. The Thessalonian believers had become confused and alarmed by reports suggesting that the day of the Lord had already arrived. Paul directly addresses this misunderstanding, urging them not to be quickly shaken or deceived by false messages or claims. He explains that certain events must occur first, including a widespread rebellion and the revelation of the man of lawlessness, who opposes and exalts himself against God. By clarifying these matters, Paul seeks to restore calm and strengthen the believer's hope. His teaching emphasizes the importance of discernment and vigilance, encouraging the community to remain firm in the traditions and teachings they had received. Closely related to these themes is the call to moral and spiritual integrity. Paul exhorts the Thessalonians to live disciplined and responsible lives, warning against idleness and disorderly conduct within the community. He reminds them of the example he and his companions set when they worked diligently so as not to be a burden to others. The apostle summarizes this principle in a direct admonition that those unwilling to work should not expect to eat. These instructions are both practical and theological, reinforcing the connection between ethical behavior and readiness for Christ's return. Work, responsibility, and discipline are portrayed not merely as social expectations but as expressions of faithful obedience to God. The epistle also highlights the importance of encouragement and mutual support within the Christian community. Paul's tone combines apostolic authority with pastoral concern as he prays that the Lord would comfort the believers' hearts and strengthen them in every good work and word. The promise that God is faithful and will guard them from evil provides reassurance amid their struggles. At the same time, Paul urges the community to patiently guide those who are struggling or living irresponsibly, maintaining both discipline and compassion. In this way, the letter emphasizes that the Christian life is lived not in isolation but through shared commitment, accountability, and encouragement. Overall, the second epistle to the Thessalonians weaves together themes of perseverance, hope, discernment, ethical conduct, and communal solidarity. It offers both correction and encouragement, calling believers to remain steadfast while awaiting the return of Christ. By grounding their present lives in the certainty of God's ultimate justice and victory, the epistle presents a vision of Christian faith that is active, disciplined, and sustained by hope.